Now, in terms of packaging, have you ever thought that a phone would be packaged like this? Well, I actually have. This looks like many things to maybe a small child. This could be a small house. To a child maybe about 10, it could be actually a picnic basket or a tiffin to carry. But to most people, as I hold this in my hand, people that are in the know, people that are gamers, this could be the most momentous occasion of all times, because I hold in my hand the very unusual packaging for the Asus ROG phone. Now, right in the top, I'm going to say this. Asus, absolutely amazing packaging. What an absolutely incredible phone. But I have to point out, you did it all right, but you missed out on one point. Why are you calling this the Asus ROG? I understand the Republic of Gamers, but imagine a phone that can be called the Asus ROG phone. I mean, that is such a killer name for a gamer phone. You're still calling it the Asus ROG. I'll go with that. But at the present moment, I have to show you everything that comes in the box, the Asus ROG, the world's first true 100% gaming phone, and boy, is there some incredible stuff in this. And of course, we'll move on to Micromax. A lot of people have thought this is a company that will not be making phones anymore, but they are back with a bang, and we have an exclusive interview. We'll move on to the Nokia 8.1. Many call this the best Nokia phone ever. And then a shootout that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, the Oppo R17 Pro versus the Google Pixel, the new Google Pixel 3, mainly because of the aperture on the Oppo. That and a whole lot more on this very special show.
We get our gaming gloves on and tell you if the Asus ROG is a pure gamer's delight, and if at 69,999 rupees it is the winner chicken dinner of today. One phone company has resurfaced with two new budget rockers, and in an exclusive, we grill the co-founder to find out where the company has been and what brings it back with a bang. Nokia adds another feather to its portfolio with the Nokia 8.1 with Zeiss Optics pure display technology and a price tag of 26,999 rupees. Is this the best Nokia phone out there? We find out. The Oppo R17 Pro boasts of a f1.5 aperture for low light shots. We pit it against the camera champion Google Pixel 3 and test its claims.
This phone adds something to the portfolio of phones that I completely love. It adds drama, it adds performance, it adds looks, and really is giving me a sense of something that I've never done before. In a phone, I'm feeling like I'm actually holding something much more. So from the looks, look at the back. Absolutely stunning in every which way. It almost looks like it has fins, cooling chambers built in. I've already told you this is an add-on that keeps the phone very cool, but we'll get down to all of these in the review. Then you flip it around and the screen is stunning. Then the battery in this is great. The accents that they've given on this is absolutely fantastic. Air triggers on the top, you can't even see it, but you can actually use them as buttons. So air triggers on the top, a gaming mode inside, and then various accessories, some that come in the box, that's some that you have to purchase separately. Asus, I think you've got a winner on your hand. The price to some people may be a little more than they had actually anticipated. I think it's absolutely fine for the kind of phone, the kind of performance, the kind of things they're giving you. But let's take a detailed look at our review. Plus, we've got a gamer to actually get his hands on this and tell us what he thinks.
The best way to game on a smartphone might just be here. This is the Asus ROG or Republic of Gamers phone. Asus has a long legacy of gaming devices like laptops and monitors, but this phone is their first foray into pure gaming territory with a smartphone. The phone comes with a heavy price tag of 69,999 rupees, and so let's put it to use and find out if we can shoot some hoops and indulge in some high-octane gaming with ease. Every aspect of the Asus ROG phone looks, behaves and feels like a gaming phone. First off, it looks like a robust and rugged gaming phone with Corning Gorilla Glass 6 in front. The metal sides have hard line edges all around and the back has a sporty feel to it. The ROG logo at the back can light up as well. The phone also comes with air triggers which can't be seen but are pressure sensitive and can be customized for gaming. This worked well when we tried it, and one doesn't need to touch the screen much while gaming. The phone comes with two sets of USB Type-C ports for when one is gaming in landscape mode, the other can be used to charge. The display is an impressive AMOLED display with full HD+ resolution, and it's fantastic. The colors are bright and sharp, and it also supports HDR technology, which drastically improves playback during gaming. There is an 8GB RAM on board along with Snapdragon 845. The phone is truly powerful, and this is one of the areas it excels in. It seems to take any kind of Android game you might throw at it. Asus has done a lot to help keep the phone cool and away from an overclocked CPU. There is a vapor chamber inbuilt, and it comes with an aeroactive cooler peripheral which can be snapped on like this and doubles up as a secondary fan when needed. There is a 4000 mAh battery which lasts through heavy gaming and 1 day of use. The phone supports fast charge, which is a big plus. There's a dual rear camera setup which doesn't have much to write home about, but it does a decent job in good light. There is a game center where one can switch to the custom Gaming X mode, which boosts the game's performance by freeing up background RAM. There are dual front-facing stereo speakers on the phone that are adequately loud and provide crystal clear audio. The Asus ROG comes with additional accessories which don't come in the box. There is a twin-view dock that adds a second AMOLED display and more haptics. There is a game vice control for couch gaming, which makes it look a lot like the Nintendo Switch, and there is a desktop dock as well. Now we'll come to our verdict in just a bit. We gave the phone to a gamer to try and play around with.
I think the 90Hz display on it is like a very big advantage. It helps you, like, it makes just everything seem smoother. Transitions, gaming, whatever it might be. It just makes it look more beautiful and more smooth. Apart from that, I think the big display on this and the air triggers. With the air triggers, I played PUBG mostly because they work with the air triggers a lot better compared to other games. I mean, I didn't try any other shooting games. I played a little bit of Angry Birds and stuff just to see how the game performs. But in terms of the air triggers, I set my scope and my firing trigger on the air triggers, and that was sort of helpful. But then again, like I said, it's a little glitchy, right? So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But maybe they can fix that with a software update, I guess. Once you go higher refresh rate, you just can't come back. It's really hard for your eyes to sort of go back to 60 Hz. 90 Hz and above is just amazing, like, to sort of view. In terms of it being like a full-fledged gaming device, I don't think we can compare this to like a full-fledged console or a gaming PC or anything like that. But in terms of a handheld gaming device, yes, this is very capable, and I think it's gonna go pretty far in terms of mobile gaming at least.
Well, you heard it. The Asus ROG is an out-and-out gamer's phone, and it performs exceedingly well as one. It doesn't come with too many flagship features, though it is priced like one. If you're someone who's only a Candy Crush or a Pac-Man gamer, then this phone is not for you. But if you're a serious gamer and love your PUBG, then this is the best and the only phone you will need.
They said they are out. They said Micromax is no longer in the phone game. This is the only company I know whose phones used to sell in black in the open market. And one day they just disappeared. Just could not keep up with the competition, and everybody wrote them off. But they're not out of the game. In fact, they're back with a bang. This is the N11 and the N12, two new phones from Micromax. Let's take a look. The Infinity series that they've come out with. Let's take a look at what the phones are all about. Can Micromax, with these two phones and a huge portfolio that they're promising, actually make a comeback? Can they really be a big player in the market once again? They do have a lot of loyalty for the brand, but are those loyalist customers still out there? Well, we'll do the review first, and then, like I said, a brutal interview with the CEO.
Micromax is back in the Indian market with two budget rockers, and we hear that this time around, the company has learned from its mistake and is ready to regain its throne as the #1 smartphone brand. We now get the Infinity N11 and the Infinity N12, two phones part of the brand's first notch series. So here is our quick review. The Infinity N12 and the Infinity N11 come with an attractive design and a display notch. We'll focus on the N12, the pricier of the two, in this review. It is pretty comfortable to hold in one hand. There is plastic at the back with a glossy finish, which does give it a more elegant look, though this will attract more smudges. Fat battery on a Micromax was the norm, and the Infinity phones carry on the legacy with a 4000 mAh battery in both the N11 and the N12. The company claims that you can get a talk time of 30 hours on a single charge. The phones come loaded with a 2 GHz octa-core MediaTek Helio P22 processor, and we found no lag while multitasking or browsing. Gaming performance was average. While the N11 comes with 2 GB RAM and 32 GB storage, the N12 comes with 3 GB RAM and 32 GB storage. The two phones come with Android Oreo 8.1 out of the box, and the company says an Android 9 Pie update is coming soon. Both phones come with a 13-megapixel plus 5-megapixel dual rear camera setup. But both the phones are aimed at the selfie-obsessed population, and while the N12 comes with a 16-megapixel selfie shooter, the N11 comes with an 8-megapixel selfie camera. The Infinity N12 can be yours for Rs 9,999, while the N11 can be yours for 8,999 rupees. Both phones will be available from December 26. The Cell Guru verdict. Christmas has come early for those on the lookout for budget phones with so many options in the market. And Micromax is all set to put up a good fight with its new Notch series. A great battery, a great display and an aggressive price are all the ingredients for a great comeback story.
I just showed you the two phones that Micromax has now announced and released, two very strong offerings in the market. Now it's time to find out all the questions that have been in your mind for the last many months, in my mind for the last many months, and I have the very man here who can answer them all. First and foremost, you were the only brand I know whose phones were sold in the black market. There was a premium to your phones, and then it all just disappeared. What happened?
Okay, so very rightly said, from being number one brand, what went wrong? So you will also appreciate that was a time when India was largely on a 3G footprint, and then we had a tsunami of data called Reliance Jio. So the market did not move on an organic basis from 3G to 4G, which any of the industry stalwarts or industry companies would be thinking about, and it actually inorganically moved overnight from 3G to 4G. Most of the inventory that Micromax had was 3G. Now when the market changed overnight to 4G, customers had a preference of using a 4G handsets. Obviously during that time the channel also had inventory, we could not overstep them and just launch up the 4G handsets. So there was that period which actually provided a lot of other brands opportunities.
But a lot of people would then argue that you should have seen the tsunami coming. You're the number one brand. A brand that is number one should be nimble enough to be able to change to market conditions and also predict the future.
Very rightly said. I mean, I would not shirk the blame. We will take the blame as a brand. But having said that, the intensity with which this change was driven, I can only promise you none of the CFO of the incumbent operators had also thought about it. Okay. And everybody was caught off guard.
Indian market is very perception based. So what does Micromax now bring to the table where, let's say, everybody that's watching this show right now says, okay, I loved Micromax. Somewhere they went away. I didn't have anything I could buy from them. They're back. They've got a great product. But with the way the Indian brands are right now, with some of them shutting down, some of them shutting factories, some not paying salaries, do you believe perception could be your greatest problem here? You have a great two phones, you have a great brand. Where do you think your problems could lie?
I do not deny there's a lot of issue on the perception and how we deal with it. But having said that, being existent long enough in the industry and also at the same time launching products right now, my customers would vouch, Micromax as a brand has never been behind. We might be late, we might want to be late to be more relevant to the consumer, but here we are, and from here on you can see a huge amount of innovations coming in.
Okay, great. So we really look forward to this. I have to say, personally speaking, I'm thrilled you're back. We need Indian brands. I don't care whether I'm being nationalistic or not. We need Indian brands and we need some aggression to come in the innovation market, and I hope Micromax leads that once more. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, I hold a phone in my hand that I'm very proud to say may well be the best Nokia phone ever. This is the Nokia 8.1. And from look to feel to the customer and the user experience that you're going to get from this phone, it may be actually comparable to none. This is a great effort by Nokia, but may I congratulate Nokia for one more thing. Finally, you've got the price absolutely perfect. This is aggressive, even beyond our expectation.
The Nokia 8.1 is a sturdy device since it is backed by the name Nokia or HMD Global. There is a fingerprint scanner on the back. You get Corning Gorilla Glass on the front, though the company doesn't specify which one. Durability shouldn't be a problem with this phone. We like the fact that there is a USB Type-C port on the bottom and a 3.5mm audio jack on the top. Notch haters will get an opportunity to whine because there is a pretty noticeable display notch on the 8.1. But you get a pretty big screen even so. A 6.1-inch Full HD Plus edge-to-edge display may be enough real estate to watch all those videos you want without complaints. Beyond that, the display is vivid in daylight. The screen here is HDR10 capable. The Nokia 8.1 comes loaded with the new Snapdragon 710 processor, which is not quite as premium as the Snapdragon 845, but it does the job. Our experience was smooth and lag-free, and multitasking was a breeze. The Nokia 8.1 houses a 3500 mAh battery, which is nothing to write home about since 4000 mAh is now becoming a norm at the sub 30k price range for smartphones. Around 10 to 11 hours is what you can expect with gaming and browsing. The Nokia 8.1 comes with Android 9 Pie out of the box, which is great. It needs to be added here that this is an Android One phone, so you get the stock Android UI with regular updates for 2 years. The phone is only available in a 4GB RAM variant with 64GB of storage. We would have liked more storage at this price point. Optics is one department where the phone wins big. The Nokia 8.1 comes with a 12-megapixel primary rear camera with a Zeiss branded lens and a secondary 13-megapixel fixed focus depth sensor. For selfie lovers, there is a big 20-megapixel front camera.
I would say I'm really happy to see how the imaging turned out in this device. It has really powerful camera setup in the back. One of the most sensitive, if not the most sensitive sensor power in this, but also being able to channel that light in a really precise way, and of course that comes from the help from our friends from Zeiss.
We took the phone all the way to Hawaii with us and tested out the camera in scenic locations and of course took some selfies. We love the Pro mode, and even the live bokeh mode pays a lot of attention to detail. So much so that every little spot on your face is visible. Our daytime shots had great detail and we love the colors. We wouldn't, however, recommend this phone for night photography, but the selfies were quite remarkable and true to life. The Nokia 8.1 can be yours for 26,999 rupees for the 4GB RAM variant. So what is the thought behind the pricing?
Being a people's brand, staying true to the philosophy that Nokia stands for, we have launched devices across price points, and that's exactly what we've done in 2018 as well. So we've just announced the 464 at 26,999. You can expect a 6128 to come sometime in January, and we'll also announce the price closer to the date.
The Cell Guru verdict. The Nokia 8.1 is a solid phone flanked by the Nokia Now HMD legacy. The make of this phone and its camera make it a stellar choice. And we know a lot of folks who would pay much more for the Nokia name. Would you?
When I spoke to you about this phone, the Oppo R17 Pro, I told you it's got many things. It basically took everything that was a great innovation in hardware or otherwise in 2018 and they put it into one single phone. And then they added something else, an aperture and f-stop of f1.5, and I said that is fantastic because low light shots and night shots will be completely and totally incredible. But now we want this phone to put the money where its mouth is, because now it has to compete against what most people call the absolute winner in the camera phone of the year. In fact, in last phone standing, which we'll be doing very soon, I'm sure this will be a contender, could well win it. So right now, this is a very big deal, a 65,000-70,000 rupee phone versus a 40,000 or so phone. And we'll compare the two phones in terms of feature sets and then try out low light photography. Remember, only one can win.
The new phone on the block, the Oppo R17 Pro, puts a lot on the table, including great specifications and camera capabilities. But how does it fare when put against Google's flagship of the year, the Pixel 3? Let's find out. In terms of design, the two phones are drastically different. The Google Pixel 3 has a subtle and muted look, while the Oppo R17 Pro is bright and shiny with this radiant mist color variant. The Oppo R17 Pro comes with an AMOLED display, while the Pixel 3 has a full HD Plus OLED display. The Pixel has a brilliant display and wins the point here. On the hardware front, the Oppo R17 Pro is powered by the new Snapdragon 710 chipset and comes with an 8GB RAM. The Pixel 3 has a 4GB RAM, but a more powerful Snapdragon 845 chipset. Being a pure Android phone, the Google Pixel 3 brings Android 9 with it, while the Oppo R17 Pro has an older Android 8.1 Oreo with ColorOS 5.2. The Oppo R17 Pro starts at 45,990 rupees, while the Pixel 3 starts at 66,500 rupees. But coming down to the real difference between the two, the cameras. Oppo's R17 Pro comes with a triple camera setup with a 20 megapixel primary lens, 12 megapixel lens and a time of flight depth sensor. The images were good with clear detail and bright colors. The depth was noticeable as well without looking unnatural. The Pixel 3 has always been praised for its camera, and in fact the camera capabilities it manages with a single 12.2 megapixel camera. There is dual pixel phase detection which lends images more clarity, and the shots on the portrait mode have depth and are very good. The Pixel 3 has two cameras on the front, 8 megapixel wide angle and telephoto cameras. The phone gives great selfies with sharp colors and depth. The Oppo R17 Pro comes with a 25 megapixel front camera. Oppo is known to be a selfie pro, and it doesn't disappoint on this front either. Both cameras are at a tie with the front shooters. But the real shootout boils down to their low light capabilities. The Oppo R17 Pro has a very low aperture of f1.5, while the Pixel 3 has a f1.8 aperture. The Pixel 3 comes with its star feature, the night sight mode, and when we switched the phone to that, the frame lit up and the shots we took were great with almost no loss of detail. Almost the same subjects were then shot on the Oppo R17 Pro, which took good images with no glare, and there was no graininess either. All in all, the Oppo R17 Pro puts up a very good fight with its superior low light camera, but the Pixel 3 is a shade ahead. It's a close call, and the Oppo R17 Pro offers those camera capabilities in a device priced much less than the Pixel 3, which makes it a good camera choice.
So that then was Cell Guru, the last show of the year. But is there deja vu out there? Didn't I say the same thing last year? Well, we actually put this in because of so many things that happened. Asus, the Micromax comeback, that interview that we got, the shootout, Nokia's new phone. So now, this is the last show of the year. Next week, last phone standing.